All right, guys. Next update. Little package came in here. 0.5 zoom. Little package came in here. I am led to believe that these are the brakes, the rear brakes, going on this here build, this here Kawasaki. So you can see I took off the rear wheels, just sitting right there right now. I'm gonna get a bunch of stuff in. I'm actually gonna put the axle back too. Rear brakes are in. I hope they fit. They are from a bike that is a year earlier than the 2004. It's from the 03. So I hope they'll fit. I'm not 100% sure. Highly likely. So that's nice. A few other things. I'm gonna be switching to a new battery as soon as possible. It's actually on Facebook Marketplace as we speak. This little guy right here. Got the angle grinder. A few things happened since last recorded, so yeah, as you can see here, I grinded off this whole thing, sanded it down nice and smooth. I don't want to touch it, but it's not like, I'm not gonna cut you if you press a battery on that or anything. Nice. Yeah, took the rear wheel off. So yeah, mostly together here. I'm gonna see if I can get these rear brakes on, if I need anything like a mineral oil or whatever to put in the brakes. We'll see. But yeah, it's the first bit here, and we'll see what's going on when I get these brakes on. All right, here's the package. Took off the tape. Let's open this John up. See what the fuck is going on. Oh my god, that's a lot of something still here. Hold on. All right, here we go. Right here. Just stay down there. Look at that. Here's everything. Oh, they got it in a nice, neat little plastic bag. Oh, this is just amazing. All right, so here's all the shit we got in the box. This goes here. Axle goes through this hole over here. So it'll be on the bike. Fucking, hold on. It's like the exact wrong orientation. It'll be on the bike something like this, almost. This, right here, guards the disc, guards the, actual thing. And this, you can see right there, that notch, it slides on there. So you don't actually need any screws to attach this. The axle just kind of slides right through. This is the, brake pedal, return, whatever, all that jazz. Fluid reservoir here. They got me nice little plastic bag. How kind of them. And then, yeah, here's all the tubing and shit. Yeah, pretty, whatever. I'm gonna see if I can get this on here. Should be pretty easy to just slide on. And yeah, we'll get started. All right, so it's kind of hard to record this while putting this on. But basically, all I really did was this part, as I said, just kind of slides on here. It's back and forth, sliding. Can't really see that, but down there, you see that? Slide around on there. Here's how the brake's gonna look. Gotta figure out how to unscrew this. This thing is like tight in there. Been sitting a while, I can tell. Reservoir. This part just kind of goes behind back here like this, right? You see the tube in here. This little loop comes around back underneath these, and that's pretty, yeah, I mean, pretty conclusive there. All right, so in order to crack this loose, I had to look through my entire garage for a bolt that was big enough, for an Allen key that is big enough for this fucking socket. And out of every single tool in my garage, the only thing was this. You gotta be kidding me, bro. This might take me a minute. We'll see. Okay, so it turns out there wasn't actually anything holding the bolt on, like threads-wise. You just kind of had to push it out. There is nothing that is letting this thing move. I'm gonna have to put on some grease to this. Clean it off a little bit. Then we can get it back into the bike, screw it on, all that, yeah. All right, so I greased up the bolt and I stuck it back in here. Now the challenge is to screw it into here. Can't see it that well because it's really dark. Yeah, that's the next challenge here. All right, so I was able to screw it in. Now it moves, as you can see here. And I was able to put the spring in. I figured out where it goes. And so now it returns. So there is no, even without compression, you have a working system. Yeah, I'm gonna put the rear wheel on before I do the rest of this because I don't want this to lock up and be a huge pain in the ass. And yeah, I'll be back when that's done. All right, so I got the rear wheel in. It's kind of just being held in place at the moment. Put the axle in a second, and then yeah, we'll be ready to get started here. Also, just for some peace of mind, I'm gonna dab a little bit of grease all along this so it'll, you know, not get bound up or anything when I try out the brakes, and yeah. So I kind of skipped over a lot of stuff I did, but I was able to get the axle through, and now I'm just hand tightening everything. And then I'm gonna see if I can get these brakes working and if the wheel actually spins. And yeah, so we'll just do that right now. All right, so I was able to fully tighten everything. It spins. As you can see, I'm spinning it, and it's not like locking up. Don't know how easy it'll spin, because it's still on the thing, but this is good. It's very good news. All right, what's up everyone? It's the next day, as you can see, nice and bright out. And yeah, this thing is fully assembled. Put the brakes on, I adjusted them and all that. They lock up super easy. Brake pad, everything's super nice. Also, this before I started recording, as you can see down here, I cut off these tabs that were here. As you can see, there's like 4 of them. Cut them off, and so now I have way more space for the battery. And yeah, so all the structure is intact. I have way more space for the battery. So yeah, I think it's good. I can now start making some rough designs of what the battery shape might be. And yeah. All right, so I made this little cardboard cutout. It looks kind of like a pumpkin, but this is the cross section of the motor that we're gonna be putting in here. Get this out of the way. So when you place it in here, the plan is this screw is gonna go right here, and so the motor will sit something like this-ish. The sprocket will come out here. Lines up very well with the chain, as you can see. So hopefully I won't have to do as much to that. And the big thing is seeing where this top mount comes out, which is about right there. So then I can know. How to design the battery. Yeah. So this is good to have. Now I'm gonna make a cutout of cross section of the battery and see if I can fit that in here. All right, so I just kind of screwed this in here with the screw to hold it in place. Now I'm gonna measure the distances so I can make a big enough battery to get it lots of range. Yeah, that's what we want here, lots of range. And yeah, so I'm gonna be doing that. All right, y'all, so I know this looks kind of dumb, but y'all gotta bear with me here. So I made a little model of what the battery's gonna look like based off of how big the motor was. I took a bunch of measurements and stuff. So it should fit in here, something like this on the bike. Just making sure everything will fit. Looks something like this from the front here. So not too wide or anything. Might actually want to see what it looks like with this on here. Honestly. Full gas tank. Oh yeah. Yeah, it fits pretty well overall. Nothing too crazy there. This lines up too, so that's pretty nice. I can live with that. Yeah. Motor is down here. It's poking into the battery a little bit. Thankfully, you can just kind of lift it up and it goes back in place. Yeah. Very good stuff here. All right, so here's my conversation with the manufacturer. So first I sent them the dimensions for the battery as well as the specs that I wanted. So you can see I kind of just drew it on a whiteboard. I also told them like where the battery lead should come out and where it should connect. But then they told me that they couldn't make 76 volt batteries, which is what I wanted because it was the best for the motor. So I asked for a 72 volt battery instead, and they said they could do that. So then we had a conversation about what the battery shape overall is going to look like. So like the 90-degree corners and the measurements overall. And then they gave me a sketch with the wires coming out the top and asking if it was right. So it was good. They also offered me a metal casing for the battery, and I accepted that. I said sure. And then I asked them like how much time it would add to the manufacturing and shipping and whatever, and how much cost it would be. And they told me it would be, add another week or so, I think. But the shipping would be the same. And so I asked for a couple changes on the design overall. I gave them this little crappy sketch of where the wires should maybe come out. And then they told me that the handle was going to go on the top, so that wasn't going to work out. So then I sent them this other one with the, I actually whipped up the design in Fusion 360 of what I kind of wanted it to look like. So here, as you can see, I did the 4 wires that I thought they were going to be. And then the handle on the top surface of the battery. And they said it was good. Then they sent me a list of prices of each of the options for the battery cells I could use. I ended up going with the 72 volt, 60 amp hour, 420 concurrent or 420 amp current that was priced at about $1,300. It's the EV 50 PL battery cells. Well, that's what I'm going to do. I haven't actually bought it yet or gotten them to start manufacturing yet. Then they talked about how the nozzle of the battery is about 1 inch tall, so I need to find clearance for that. So then I asked them to change the design with that in mind, to move the wires to the other side of the top surface, as close to the edge as possible. And so they sent me this other sketch back with the wires like this, and I said it would work, obviously. And they also gave me the option of having a dual discharge connector. The result would be they showed me what it might look like. And then I told them that I would probably use the EV50PL cells. And then after that, I realized that the wires might be too wide for the actual case itself. So I sent them this photo of the battery within the frame. And I told them that it had to be close to the center, 6 inches wide at most. And they sent me this back, which does work. So that's good. And then I asked them if they could possibly do 5 inches wide instead of 6, so I could have clearance. But it should work. And then they say they also told us that our cable for the double connector where it connects to the controller would be provided by them, so I wouldn't have to worry about doing the double connector to the controller, which is nice. Yeah. And then also at the very end, I asked for a bit of clearance on the end of the battery so I can add another part for the mount there, which would be nice. But they haven't responded yet.